writing workshop. So I really hope that you will learn a lot from this session. Our guest presenter, Miss Asha-Gaye Cowell, she is like the absolute best person to lead this session. She's an amazing person, actually. She has gotten several scholarships and she has helped a lot of young people like yourself to even apply to scholarships. So you'll be guided by an expert, by someone who cares about students. Please mute your mic.
What? I'm not trusting your bag juice. You don't have no money, so no.
So you not go over? We not go over?
Yeah, you go over. I have work tomorrow, so I don't know. We have that one. Me, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just mute the mics for you. Right? So we're Mother Theresa Driving Academy, and this is our contact information. Ensure that you save our number, because one day, even if you're not at the age yet, as long as you're 17 years old, you can start learning to drive, or you can get your license and stuff like that. But if you're younger than 17, still save our number. One day you'll need it. So just to give you a general overview, Mother Theresa Driving Academy offers a wide range of driver education services. The goal of the company is to be a one-stop facility for all driver education needs. So that includes applying for your learner's permits, acquiring education materials, driving test preparation, and refresher courses. And we are positioned as an affordable and cost competitive school. We currently operate in Kingston and St. Andrew with plans to expand to Clarendon, Mandeville, and St. Elizabeth by next week. So I'm going to prove to you why is it that we're cost competitive. So we've done our market research and compared to schools in Kingston, in Portmore, in Montego Bay, our prices are by far the most competitive, the lowest, and we try to keep it that way. So if you look at Clark's Driving School, or even JAA, one of the most popular driving schools here in Jamaica, their starting price is like $2,900 or $2,500, while we start at $2,000, and they go up to as much as $60,000-$70,000, while we only go, our most expensive package is $38,000. So just to give you a general overview of the services that we offer, so these are the packages. You have the regular package where you get 10 lessons and free materials, which include the exam and road code book. The exam booklet consists of over 400 or 500 past paper questions with answers as well. We have our super pass package where you get double the lessons, that's 20 lessons, same free materials, and we have automatic and standard lessons available. The executive service package, where it is that we offer pickup and drop off with that package, if it is that you live outside of where we operate. And the night driving classes, so sometimes you don't want your first time driving at night to be alone. We offer night driving classes. It includes 3 lessons, and pick up and drop off is complimentary, because of course the safety is our concern. And we have refresher courses for those of you who already know how to drive but just need to brush up on probably parallel parking or reversing. And we have vehicle rentals for exams. So if you didn't use Mother Theresa Driving Academy to learn to drive, then you can rent a vehicle from us, a car for $4,000 or a van for $6,000, and you must do so 2 days before the exam date, or even way before that. That's fine, even better. And we have materials. We offer the materials alone. So if you don't want the lessons in terms of the full package, you can purchase the materials alone for $2,000. You'll get 4 books, one with exam questions with 500 questions and answers, the road code book, road signs, and another book recently developed by our team, where it is that we have links to videos to all the content in our materials. So you'll get kind of like a virtual class while studying for your exam, in a sense. Please remember to mute your mics, guys. I'm not seeing whose mic is okay. And we also offer mock exam services. So the same exam that you get at the depot, and we actually use the same route. We designed the exam where you do a written exam and then we take you on the road for the practical aspect of the exam. We have car accessories, so like your steering wheel covers, and we offer car rental separate and apart from the ones for exam. And as a bonus, we have a partnership with different car dealers across Jamaica. Please mute your mics. Okay. Yes, so we have a partnership with car dealers across Jamaica where it is that all MT students will get 15% off on their first car with MT partnered car dealers. So this is the end of my overview. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter at MT Driving JA. Oh, I forgot the JA. So at MT Driving JA, once you type in MT Driving, you'll find us. You'll see us come up. And you can like us on Facebook as well at Mother Theresa Driving Academy. And we also have, for those of you who are applying to jobs and stuff like that, we offer free resume and application letter services. So you can submit your resume and your application letter for review. And to this email address, that's mtdrivingja@gmail.com, and we'll review it and return to you within 2 days. And this ends on September the 3rd. So I'll now hand over to Kayla, who will chair the meeting for today.
Okay, a pleasant good evening, everyone. My name is Kayla Bryan, and with me I have Ms. Tawana Richards. We are the outreach officers for Mother Teresa's Driving Academy. Today we will be telling you all about the available scholarships in Jamaica, common questions you may ask, and the whole application process. So let me just share my screen. Is it sharing? Yeah, this one? Yes. Okay, great, it's working. Can you see my screen? No?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. So let's jump right in. So the first company that will be offering scholarships this year is Credit Unions of Jamaica. So Credit Unions of Jamaica was actually offering 3 scholarships this year, but the deadline passed for 1. So I'll be discussing Milburn Curry Credit Union Scholarship. So this scholarship is valued at a maximum $500,000. It will cover your books and tuition. However, it is only valid for second or final year of study. The criteria. So first, you must be of Jamaican nationality. You must be a full-time student pursuing a bachelor's degree in either HR, accounting, economics, management studies, or any other, business-related program the universities across the islands offer. You must have knowledge of credit unions as a whole and corporative principles. You must be involved in clubs, associations, or organizations that are charitable and civic-minded. And you must have a minimum GPA of 3.5. The deadline for this scholarship is August 14th, 2020. So the next scholarship they will be offering is the Glenn Francis Credit Union Scholarship. It is very similar to Milburn Curry. It is valued at $500,000, only valid for second or final year of study. You must be of Jamaican nationality. You must be a full-time student pursuing a bachelor's degree in any business-related program. You must have knowledge of credit unions. You must be in charitable organizations, and your GPA must be of 3.5. The only difference with this scholarship is that you must complete 20 hours of community service during the year of the award. And the deadline is the same, August 14th, 2020. So common questions. How and where can you apply? So you have 2 ways of applying. You can collect your application forms from their branches on Church Street and Sam Sharp Square. And those are in Montego Bay or Lucy, Hanover. You may also download the form on their website at www.creditunionsofjamaica.com. So after you have completed this form, you must submit the form along with any other supportive documents they may ask of you and send it to creditunionsja@gmail.com. So some persons can't apply for this award because first, members of staff of the Jamaica Cooperative Credit Union League and their immediate family members, these persons cannot apply, are recipients of any credit union scholarship. So if you know you have a credit union scholarship, you're on a credit union scholarship, you cannot apply. And thirdly, a person who is receiving the Glenn Francis of the Milburn Curry or vice versa is ineligible of receiving the award in the same year. So the next company is Jamaica Energy Partners. So Jamaica Energy Partners is actually offering 3 types of scholarships this year. So the first one is JEP, and this is targeted to persons living in the St. Catherine area. So 2 recipients can benefit from this award, and this is valued at $250,000, and it will cover your tuition, your books, and your other school material. So you must be living in St. Catherine for a minimum of 5 years. Your scholarship to be awarded for a study at a recognized tertiary institution that must be approved by governing bodies. And you must participate, if you get this award, you must participate in at minimum 3 company outreach projects for the year. Okay, so the application process. So what you can do is you're supposed to go on the website, www.jamenergy.com, and you're supposed to sign up you're supposed to complete the application form, and then you're supposed to submit your letter of recommendation. So your letter of recommendation, it must include one from your school principal and one from your community member. It must be a JP or a minister of religion. If you cannot get a letter of recommendation from your school principal, the next best thing would be to ask your head of department at your faculty. You must submit your student essay, which is between 500 to 550 words. When you go on the website, the instructions for the essay is there. It's very long. And then you must submit your official transcript, which is your CAPE or GCE results. So you can, once you've downloaded application form and you have all these together, you can deliver it to Jamaica Energy Partners on Marcus Garvey Drive, Kingston 14. If you don't choose to do it like that, you can always sign up virtually. So you can sign up online and upload the documents that are required. And the deadline for this would be August 21st, 2020 at 4 p.m. So the second scholarship that Jamaica Energy Partners will be offering is the Jamaica Private Power Company, JPPC. So this is basically targeting students in East Kingston and Port Royal. So 2 recipients will benefit from the scholarship of $250,000, and this will cover their tuition, their books, their material, and the criteria is basically the same as before. You must have lived there for a minimum of 5 years. The scholarship is to be awarded for any recognized tertiary institution that must be approved by governing bodies. You must be 21 years or younger upon entry. And this award is eligible for students pursuing a degree program only. And as usual, if you get this award, all students are required to participate in at minimum 3 company outreach projects annually. And the deadline is the same, August 14th, 2020 at 4 p.m. The third and final scholarship they will be offering is the West Kingston Power Partners, WKPP. So they are recognizing children that are in the Western Wait. Can you mute your mic, please? Okay, awesome. So WKPP is recognizing children that are in the Western region of Jamaica. It is basically the same. It is offering $250,000, and it will cover your tuition, your books, your material. You must live in the Western Kingston area for a minimum of 5 years. You must be 21 years or younger. The application process is the same. You go on their website, you download the application form, and you upload the relevant documents. And the deadline would be August 14th, 2020 at 4 p.m. for all 3 scholarships. So some questions students may ask if they accept unofficial copy of their transcripts. No, they don't. They don't accept those. You have to have an official copy of your transcripts. This is not for any overseas student. This is only for local universities. If you're on a scholarship right now, can you apply for this? No, you can't. If you are on a scholarship right now, you will not be considered for any of these awards. And as I said before, for your letter of recommendation, if you cannot get your school principal to do it, the next best thing would be to get your head of departments of your faculty to do your letter of recommendation. So now I will hand over to Tawana to continue the rest.
Good evening, everyone. So for the first scholarship today, we'll have the Youth's Today Scholarship. This scholarship is only available to the 6th formers or a university student. If you're a university student, you realize that $40,000 might be just a part scholarship, probably a part scholarship for 6th form even. So when you send in your application, you send in your basic contact information. You must be a resident of Jamaica, meaning you must live in Jamaica. You must submit a copy of your recent report with an essay. The essay description is on the next page. And you must have a positive mindset, ready to uplift Jamaica and make it a better place. You can look at that. That's the essay question for the scholarship. It must be 700 to 1,200 words in Microsoft. For the font size, it must be 12, and you should have double spacing. Yes, Destiny?
Okay, sorry, I don't know if it's going to be in the rest of the slides, but this scholarship goes towards only tuition or books, etc. They give it to you. You have to bring the sheets. What's the vibe for this? Okay.
I don't think it's for only tuition. Okay. So the deadline for this scholarship is on the 14th, this year, which is Friday, August the 14th. And you should send it to the email below. So the next scholarship, this is a scholarship for from grade 7 to grade 11. You must be 17 years or younger to apply for this scholarship. You must live in Gregory Park or Christian Penn. You should send along your contact information when you're sending in this application. You must also send your recent report with the essay, and also you must have a positive mindset and ready to make Jamaica a better place to live in. Similarly to this, you need to write an essay. That's the essay question, so you can screenshot it or you can have it down. For the guidelines for this essay, it's 500 to 700 words. The font size must be 12 and it should be double spaced. The email which you should send your application to is below. The deadline for this scholarship is August the 14th.
Excuse me, Tawana, can I add something? So
Sure.
For the email, it should be music group. So the P must be there.
For the next scholarship, we have the COK Solidarity Cooperative Credit Union Scholarship. This is valued at $20,000, and this is a 5-year scholarship. So when you apply for it this year, for example, in grade 7, this will last you until you finish high school, meaning when you graduate in grade 11. This is only for the COK Solidarity COK Solidarity member for at least 2 years. Or if your parent is a member of the COK Solidarity for at least 2 years. You must provide a reference letter or an annual school report having a minimum B+ average. You must be involved in extracurricular activities and must need financial assistance. This is available for persons who are entering or is already in secondary school/high school. And the deadline for this scholarship is August the 27th, 2020. So next you have the Paul Evans scholarship. This is valued at $75,000, and this is for 2 years. So this is a 2-year scholarship. Again, you need to be a member of the COK Solidarity for at least 2 years. If you're a child or if your parent is a member of the COK Solidarity for at least 2 years. You must complete at least 2 years in a first degree management studies or business administration program at either UTech, UE, NCU, the University College of the Caribbean, or Michael University College. So this scholarship is available to university students going to any one of those universities listed above, and you must be studying, having a first degree in management studies or business administration. The deadline for this scholarship is also August the 27th, 2020. So then you have the Trevor Blake Scholarship. This scholarship is valued at $50,000, and this will last for 2 years. You must be from ages 18 to 35, and you must also be a member of the COK Solidarity for at least 2 years, or you're a child of a parent who is a member for at least 2 years. So your mother or your father can be in it for 2 years, or you yourself is in it for at least 2 years minimum. You should submit your supporting documents showing the acceptance to pursue or pursuing a first degree in accounting, banking, finance, and management. So for you to apply for this scholarship, you must show them that you get into the school first, and you must be pursuing accounting, banking, finance, or management. Also, the deadline for this scholarship is August the 27th, 2020. So you have the Margaret Rogers Foundation grant, and this grant is valued at $25,000 for 5 years. You must be between the ages 6 and 18 and is a member of the COK Solidarity for at least 2 years, or you are a child of a parent who is a part of the COK Solidarity for at least 2 years. So also for this again, your mother or your father can be in it for at least 2 years, and you can also get it, or you yourself can be in a COK Solidarity member, and you can get it for yourself. The member must be a child of the COK Solidarity member who is attending either primary or preparatory or high school. So you can either attend primary school, preparatory school, or high school. You must be involved in extracurricular activities, and also you must, scholarship is also the 27th of August, 2020. So for the application to send in the application, you can visit www.cokfinancialservices.com, or you can visit the nearest branch to apply.
Okay, can I say something real quick? As it
Sure.
relates to the Youth Today scholarship, I think it's best if you follow the guidelines. I mean, what if you write a really good essay and then just because you didn't double space or anything, you get penalized? So it's very important when you follow the guidelines, everyone, because if they're looking at your essay and they're saying, you can't follow simple instructions, that wouldn't look good, you know? So it's best if we follow the guidelines as best as possible. Thank you. How do I?
So I'll now be introducing our speaker today. Asha, translated from its Indian and African origins, means life and hope. This encapsulates in 2 syllables her ultimate mission: to lead the next generation as a beacon of hope rising from the West Indies. She aims to accomplish this through her work in development. A regionalist at heart, she has a keen interest in crime and violence prevention, climate change, and youth. Asha, a first-class honors graduate of UWI with a bachelor's of science in economics and statistics, is currently pursuing her Master of Science in International Public and Development Management. Driven by her passion for youth development, she has served her community, country, and the region in various capacities, including planning executive member of the UNE CLAC Forum of Population, Youth, and Development, and the co-chair of the LSC Steering Summit on Crime and Violence Prevention. In summer 2018, she completed an internship with CARICOM Secretariat, Guyana, where she focused on youth development and strategic advancements in the region. She is grateful for all her opportunities to serve and proudly takes up the role of serving as a member of the 2019 Youth Advisory Council for Jamaica. I am honored and privileged to welcome our guest speaker, Asha-Gaye Cowell. Thank you.
And thank you so much for that introduction. Good day. My name is Asha-Gaye Cowell. And I'll be speaking to you very quickly. I hope not to take too long, because I hope to engage you on scholarship essay writing. I have 17 quick slides, not much words, but it's more of a discussion that I'd like to have with you guys. And my experience in scholarship essays, so I mean, you guys would have probably seen the flyer go around. I am the recipient of the UWI Township Scholarship, the UWI Toronto Gala Scholarship. I also received the Nettleford McIntyre Scholarship to go to Oxford for a semester that I was supposed to do in April. Most likely I'll do it in October. I was also shortlisted for both the Chevening and Fulbright. So I think I have a lot of experience when it comes to scholarship essay writing. So the first thing I want to share with you guys in anything once you're going to be writing an essay for a scholarship is, drum rolls, be real, be authentic, and be you. That for me is the first thing that you want to ensure. Don't pretend to be who you're not. Don't try to preempt who you think they want you to be, so you're gonna write based on that. No. Be you, do you. Because at the end of the day, when you go into the interview, you're the person that they're going to be interviewing, and they're going to be, they'll see the loops, they'll see the mishaps, they'll see all those different things that you go, who really wrote this essay, right? So ensure that you're authentic, ensure that you are real to yourself. So that's the first bit of advice I wanted to give once it comes to scholarship essay writing. The next thing I wanted to say is do your research. Now, I was listening a while ago, and there are so many scholarships that are available. How many of us actually did the research for them? Whenever I'm completing a scholarship essay, I try to ensure that I find out what the values of the company are, what it is that they really have an affinity for, what is their interest. So therefore, when I'm writing my essay and ensuring that I maintain true to myself, they can see that, oh, this young lady put work into her essay. This young lady ensured that she did her research, her background check. It wasn't just some hurry come up thing that you slap dash and put on a piece of paper. So it's very, 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 very important that you do your research. Find out about the company or the organization, find out what the values are. And this will help you to kind of prepare in terms of your do's and don'ts. You'll not include things that you know are not in alignment with the particular company's value system, and you'll try to ensure that you align with those things. So, I mean, very, very simple example is if it is that I am writing an essay to say, sell myself for a particular thing, and I know that, so I'm a resident advisor at the Rex Ford Hall. Perfect example. The motto of Rex is proud, brave, strong. When I'm completing my application, I'm going to ensure that you say, you know, I hope that I'll be able to play my role in contributing to the development of the students as we make them into proud, brave, strong Rexans in alignment with the UA's ideal graduate. So you'd have seen that, okay, this young lady didn't come to play. She knows what she wants to do. She knows what we're about, and she's going to add value to that. So ensure that your research is done. Next thing, failing to prepare is equal to preparing to fail. A lot of the times we often procrastinate, and you know, you wait till last minute because you go, oh, you know, for whatever reason you procrastinate. You failed to prepare. You didn't give yourself ample time. You didn't ensure that you had enough time to plan, to do the research, to ensure that you make. So all of these scholarships that are here, most of them are from the 14th onwards. You have a week roughly. Yeah. So what date is today? You have just about a week. Ensure that when applying, you start this evening. After you finish this presentation with me, you go and you prepare your plan, you do your research, what the company identifies it, what are their goals, what are their mission statements, what it is that you would need. Ensure that you do the full research, ensure that you prepare, reach out to whoever you need to reach out to, because without that preparation process, you'll end up with loopholes. And I don't know how many of you know the statement that goes, you're as strong as the weakest link. So therefore, if you forgot to prepare on one particular aspect, you're now creating grounds for a loophole, and we don't want loopholes. Loopholes are not things that we want to include in this process when you're writing this essay. When I'm writing my essays, I have a methodology and I have a system. I start early. I lag in the middle because I probably lack inspiration so some of the times. And then I try to realize that, okay, Asha, you don't have time. And you get it done. So make sure you prepare, because if you don't prepare, you're preparing to fail. Next up is honesty is the best policy. Be honest. And I made sure that was bold. I made sure there was nothing else that was on this. don't, and it goes back to being authentic and being yourself. Ensure that there's nothing that you include that is going to question your integrity. Ensure that whenever you prepare this presentation, this particular essay, you are in fact being true to yourself, you're being true to everything, your value systems and all, because it is critical that honesty shines through. You don't want to say you have a 3.6 GPA because the scholarship requires one, and then when your transcript reaches them, they're seeing a 2.9. You'd have gotten a chance had you left the 2.9, because let's say you're the only person that applied. You had a 2.9, they go, okay, this person was really, they were willing to try. But then they're going to say, you didn't have integrity. You put a 2.9 for 3.6. If it is that you are not honest on such a simple matter, what else will you do? Why would they want their name to be attached to someone who does not have integrity and values? Ensure that honesty shines through always. Sell yourself and sound humble. This is very important. A lot of the times, you know, we have this thing where we go, oh, you know, we don't want to feel like we're too hype. We don't want to make it look like, say, you're doing too much. How else will they know that you deserve this scholarship? You have to tell them. They don't know you. All they're getting, this piece of paper that they get is a representation of you. Sell yourself. Ensure that you distinguish, and I have another slide down in the, as we continue, it says distinguish yourself, but sell yourself and sell yourself good, but remain humble. So in my bio is one of those things that I use as an example in terms of selling myself. At first, I used to have a very basic bio, you know, I used to be very reserved, very shy. I don't want nobody to know about anything I did. But at the end of the day, I did these things. And that's how I got to where I am. When I go into an interview, I currently, so if my background, you'll see I have CCI CBF week. It's because I work with the Caribbean Biodiversity Fund. And we recently concluded it, and this is the background we use, so sorry. Now, whilst with CBF, my interview, they asked me a question, and I thought long and hard, do I need to include the awards I've gotten onto my resume? Do I need to include these things in my letter that I'm applying? And though it is a scholarship essay, this is applicable to all aspects. Your cover letters, your resumes, everything. Ensure that you sell yourself. And when I did my secondary interview, those are all the things they asked me about. They asked me about my Governor General Achievement Award. They asked me about my Prime Minister's Youth Award. And I was just like, you know, I was able to speak to it and speak about it, but I'm sure I was never boastful. So one thing my friend she always laughs about it. One of my friends, her name is Dion. She always goes, do you ever take credit for what you do? I do. But I'm very rooted in Christian faith, so therefore I say it's because of the grace of God. But at the end of the day, I'm proud of what I've done, and so I will sell myself. I will market myself. I will speak about the things that I've done. However, humility is very important as you sell yourself, because you don't want to come off as arrogant, you don't want to come off as boastful, but you want to come off as confident and someone who goes after what they want. Okay, let me look what you have to offer. Next up, I purposely chose character counts. So it's know your word count, know your character limits. When I applied for Fulbright, I had 5 pages. When I applied for the Oxford Scholarship, I had 1. I had to know what to include and what not to include, what to cut and what to keep. It's important to know the character limit and the word count. Now, I also will say character counts because, and this is our pun, ensuring that you know the word limit and such forth now requires you to decide what to include, what not to include, how much can you include, what you need to take out, what you need to summarize, what you need to elaborate on. All of that counts in developing your scholarship essay. Next up, appeal to ethos, pathos, and logos. When I was preparing this, I did my research, and I saw this in one of the resource guides that I got, basically. And I found it very interesting, and I went and I looked up a picture that was in keeping with it, and I go, okay, bingo, I definitely want to speak about this. So ethos. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Right. So ethos, credibility, and ethics. It goes back to that issue of honesty, integrity, your character. Speak about that and ensure that this is a persuasive techniques. So ensure that you speak specifically to credibility and your ethics and your values. It's very important that those things shine through. Emotions and feelings. We're all human beings, we all have feelings. And sometimes people behave like, oh, they're tougher than anything else. They're really not. I'll give an example. I worked at a high school before, and one of the VPs, he always very stoic, very, very composed, has it all together. And I wasn't feeling well. And people would normally be very, we don't deal with that person because, he really, really has a very stoic, hard demeanor some of the times. But I genuinely wasn't feeling well, and I kind of had my head down on the table for a bit. And he came and he goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm just in some pain, but I'll be fine." No one normally saw me in that state. And he left his office and he came back and he goes, "Asha, is there anything that I can do to assist you?" And I said, "No, man, I'll be fine." And he came a third time and he goes, "I'm really concerned. You sure you'll be all right?" And I remember just how stoic he is, how hardened he was. But because he's human and he has feelings and emotions, he still reached out. In writing your essay, appeal to the emotions and feelings of your reader. Ensure that they can see your character shining through and speak specifically to situations and scenarios that will touch them per se. Again, this piece of paper, this PDF document is the representation of you. Ensure that it speaks well for you and well of you. Finally, logos, logic, and reason, which is logic and reason. Again, when dealing with matters as it relates to logic and reason, try to ensure that you present findings, you present issues and topics or content that will speak specifically to that of logic and reason. Ensure that your essay is going to zone in and hone, basically make that shine as you develop the essay, because you want this to be a winning essay. So ensure that these three things, EPL, ethos, pathos, and logic, are considered and included as you prepare your scholarship essay. Now, next up, we have be specific and concise. Avoid using several small and ambiguous words to express a concept. More specific words lead to more concise writing. A lot of the times we think we need to have a whole heap of big words to sound verbose. Yeah, it's nice to have 1 and 2 words in there. However, don't make every single word that you write, I'm going to have to draw for a dictionary, right? Ensure that I don't have to draw for a dictionary for every single word that you've written in your essay. Because at the end of the can someone mute?
You can all a chicken. I'm gonna put it in a which pan. You have so look at all dry my out. Put pan it, do not totally touch it. Rub or mix it underneath it. Careful, please. I'm not skin from chicken. Please. What kind of chicken are the chicken?
So what's that?
to 30 minutes.
For 30 minutes.
Day for 45 minutes or until I meet them.
Lenika, you can mute that person for me?
Put aluminum foil over it. I don't have the roasting pan, so I'm going to use the pan down there. So. Can you use the app? Until I meet 45.
Okay, great. So sorry about that. So as I was saying, ensure that you're not in using your big words and stuff. Show them up, show say you read, show that you are very educated, but don't let it be a case where our website has made available many of the things you can use for making a decision on the best dentist. Our website presents criteria for determining the best dentist. So you realize that yes, they used more concise language, they were more precise, they were more specific. And it was conveyed in such a manner that it was still very, very elevated. Your language can be elevated without being overly wordy, without being overly verbose. Please make note of that. Distinguish yourself. Be a peacock in a world full of ducks. Now, my friends usually laugh at me because most of my essays start with my introduction. The name Asha finds its origin in both Indian and African cultures, and it means life and hope. When I found out the meaning of my name, I was quite intrigued. I go, you know what? I kind of saw it as a self-fulfilling prophecy because I'm just like, my name basically dictates what I want for my life in any event. It distinguishes me. And you know automatically once you hear the name Asha finds its root in both Indian and African cultures, or in both Indian and Swahili cultures, and it translates to life and hope. Automatically, you're gonna sit up and you go, oh wait, what is this person gonna say? It's a stopper, it's a grabber, and it's very distinguishing. Ensure that you have ways to distinguish yourself as you write, because if it is that there's an essay, if it's an essay that determines if you out of 500 persons get this scholarship, you need to distinguish yourself. You need to ensure that it is well written. Not only should you distinguish yourself with the language that you use, ensure that your font is all uniform. Ensure that the presentation of your essay is immaculate. Ensure that the language you use is correct. If you need to run it through Grammarly to make sure everything is in key, do all of these things. Distinguish yourself. Ensure that your paper is so excellent. And I'm not going to say perfect because perfection is almost always unattainable, but excellence is very much achievable. Ensure that you aim for excellence as you prepare this essay so that you distinguish yourself. So in this world full of ducks, of several essays coming in, guess what? Your peacock shines through. Have a support system. It's very critical that you have a support system that's gonna be there for you. I have a group of friends, we call ourselves Blooming Babes. And I also have a couple other friends that know that, okay, essays coming up. I have a bad habit. I tend to doubt myself a little sometimes, and it take a while to convince myself that I should do something. And then I lick myself over the head and say, why did you doubt yourself? But my support system is there to push me and say, hey, what you doing? How far you reach with this? You submit it yet? The deadline never gone. That support system is there to keep you accountable. That support system is there to help you with your proofreading, with your compilations. As it says, they support you through this process. It doesn't have to be family. It can be friends. It can be a mentor. It can be a teacher. anyone, but ensure that you have a support system. No man is an island, and there's this phrase that we have in Jamaica: one hand can't clap. So don't go the route of saying, oh, I don't need nobody, I'm a loner. Yes, you can be a loner. Yes, you can be individual, but ensure that there is a support system. At least one person that's there when you feel like, boy, I can't go no further, you know. Them say, come on, hold my hand, we'll go together. Ensure that that support system is there. Build it through networking, build it through, you know, relational interactions, but ensure that you have that strong support system that pushes you to be the best you that you can be. From the ground up. Now, this is speaking specifically to writing your essay. Ensure that you pick a topic. Most often you are given the topic, ensure that the topic is there. Now that you have a topic, prepare an outline or a diagram of your ideas, right? It can be on the side of a page, it can be in a little notebook, it can be on your computer, but you must have an outline. This will help you to know the direction that you want to go. This will help you to have an idea of how the essay should be developed. So when you reach the point, like I tell you, I start strong, you know. Then I lag in the middle because I go, okay, I'm confused. What do I really need to put in here? But my outline was there. My outline said, okay, you want to cover what happens here. You want to probably speak to this. I did my research and I said, okay, they usually like essays that have this information. Because I had my outline with my ideas, it keeps me grounded, it keeps me rooted, and it gives me a guide to complete the process. Write your thesis statement. Your thesis statement is the bread and butter of your paper. Your thesis statement dictates what the paper is going to say. So you cannot write a thesis statement that says, the sun is yellow, and then everything else in your essay is saying, the water is blue. Your thesis statement, I don't know, for me, I go and think back to my primary school days when I used to go Hope Valley, and when you used to do essay writing, they used to tell you, say you must have a topic sentence. Your thesis statement is that same topic sentence. Ensure that you have your thesis statement. It guides your essay, it keeps it rooted, it keeps it grounded, and ensures that as you continue to weave your essay, this is something that I usually do. I try to keep I try to use my thesis statement. Mentally, this is what I think about. My thesis statement is like a needle and thread. So as I write different areas, different parts of my essay, I draw back from my thesis statement and the references in my thesis statement to weave everything together. And then as I conclude, so if you realize that's how you have the body, the introduction and the conclusion. You see, once my introduction, the thesis statement, you speak to it there. As I weave through the body, you're starting to see how it links back and you see how everything ties in. And as I conclude, again, you're going to see the reference made and the relevance. So you realize that there's a consistent theme, and I'm not just writing here, I'm scared, I'm out of my head, random, scrandom. No, there is a thread, a common thread that keeps this essay together. It makes this essay shine through and becomes that peacock in the world of ducks. Add your finishing touches, ensure that, like I said, run it through Grammarly, get a proofreader, ensure that your essay is in fact intact and everything about it is very polished. You know, diamonds are made under pressure. Gold goes through extreme heat. You have to go through the different stages and different processes, but the finishing touches at that point is when you shine it off and you say, whoa, it shines, it glistens, it's beautiful. That's what happens at that point. So what I wanted to, as a concluding, because I'm wrapping up shortly, with confidence, you've won before you started. You can't doubt yourself. You can't go into this process and I think, say, boy, I'm not gonna get this, you know, I'm not even know why I'm gonna bother do this, you know, because boy, I'm no. I didn't even put the other half of this sentence because it says, without confidence, you're defeated before you've even started. Before you've been defeated twice, sorry, in the race of life. But with confidence, you win before you start. So with a confident mindset, you can conquer anything because you're going to believe in yourself so much that you know, I can do it. Have faith, you know. If you're religious, you go, faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains. But if you're not religious, you know about the law of attraction, and you know about all of these things about believing in positivity and affirming and receiving all that you want. It's all the same thing. Have the confidence, know you're going to get it, know that it is yours. And in keeping with that, if you don't get it, something greater and better is out there for you. Trust when I say that. It's better to get a no than to not know. Oftentimes you say, you know, I'm not gonna get it, so I'm not gonna bother apply. Well, if you didn't apply, you're not gonna get it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So ensure that you always try, ensure that you always apply. And I'll go back to the example. Sometimes something may say, you know what, they need a GPA of 3.3 and you have a GPA of 2.9 and you go, I'm not gonna try. What if you're the only one that applied? What if everyone thought like you and said, oh, I'm not going to apply? But you did. And you wowed them with your essay and you wowed them with everything else. You think they're not going to consider you? Think about it. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Ensure that you take all the shots that you can, because you don't want to sit and go, what if? I wonder if I had. Ensure that the case that you go, I tried and I'm thankful, and you see the outcome. Worst you can get is a no. This poem for me has been my motivation. And I speak again about support system and the importance of support systems because it ties back to this poem. I did not have the confidence in myself to apply for scholarships at first. Without scholarships, I wouldn't have been where I am now. I had a friend of mine and he says, you know, you're bright, why you don't apply? And I go, I ain't gonna get those. And he somehow convinced me that I was smart enough to try. I had enough sense in my head. He said, I think you have enough sense upstairs, you can try. And I completed the applications. And even at points where it felt like, okay, this isn't going to work out. When I got my acceptance for the first scholarship, is the UWI Township Scholarship. And I often say my alternate reality looks nothing like this. But I got accepted for the UWI Township. And this is, I sent it to him and I go, look, I got it. And this is the poem he responded to me. And he goes, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are more powerful beyond measure. It is our light and not our darkness that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, or fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve this world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not in some of us, but in every single one of you. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people the permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And that's by Marianne Williamson. And it's been re-quoted several times, included by Nelson Mandela. So ensure that as you go through this process, believe in yourself, know that you can, know that you will, and you must. I can, I will, I must. And that's where I leave you guys. So you may ask your questions. If I still have time, what I decided to do is I was prepared to be very candid and show you guys two of my personal statements or my essays that I've written, so you can see how I prepared mine. Mind you, these are for more tertiary level stuff, but I'm willing to share. So if I still have time, I'll bring that up on screen. but your questions are welcome at this point. Okay, I have no questions. So great. Thank you guys for having me. I'll hand over. Oh, I see a hand raised. Go ahead, Shamar.
Right, sorry. Good evening. Excellent session. I think it's really raised some great stuff. I have a brief question. Your earlier slide was called character, about the number of the characters, and so I love the pun and I actually want, if you can just expand a little bit more on how important the character, not characters and letters as well, but the character and showcasing an excellent character. Because I remember being in an interview once, and honestly, it was only 5 of us, but I thought I did okay, but everyone looked like, wow, and they're only giving 1, and I'm not sure. And I remember when I got it in the end, they said that even though I was the third person, they were like, your personality and the feeling comes out. So how do you think, and tell us about the importance of the character that we can show in these interviews and in our essays to bring it out?
So thank you so much for that question. And I'm going to hop back over to my first slide. And it starts by saying, be real, be authentic, be you. Your character is who you are. Be true to that. Don't try to pretend who you're not. Ensure that you, and I'm also going to skip over to here. Be honest. Ensure that your credibility shines through. Now, with those 2 things, you would have been able to, let's put it this way. I've been saying it all along. This piece of paper, this little PDF, this document, most often times is the first time they meet you. Your character shines through it. Ensure that you speak. Ensure that when someone takes it up, they can say, they meet Shamar Weatherburn before they meet Shamar. That's really what your essay is supposed to be. Your essay is supposed to introduce you before they've gotten the opportunity to fully and finally meet you. So that ties back into the character, ensuring that who you are, your little, your little nuances, your little quirkiness. And that's why I said, for me, my essays almost always start, the name Asha finds its origin in Indian and African cultures. I remember for one thing I was applying, and I basically typed, because of where I was applying to, I typed it in and I say, I'm Jamaican, out of many one people. And just by my name, you can see the diversification in how just by my name, you can see how diversified I am, not just in my physical qualities, but my name says who I am, and it goes before me, and it keeps in line with what my value systems are. So your character shines through as you prepare that paper, that essay. And when you go to the interview now, they're now able to match back that character. And that's why I said, be authentic and be true to yourself, because they're gonna be looking back and they go, people will see the loopholes. They'll say, did the same person write this? Did somebody write it for you? Ensure that you're true to you, you're authentic, and you remain individual to who you are.